I get my first job at a big construction company called Skanska. And the first salary I received, 23,500 crowns, right? So approximately divided by 7.5, you have it in euro. It was a lot of money. I had never ever seen that much money. It was so, I still remember it because I spent all the money that month, right? On going out with friends and things like that. And I couldn't believe I was worth it. That was the moment I said, are they willing to pay me 23,500 crowns? It was just unbelievable. But it was, even to get to that point, remember 2 years before that, I went to the university have a possibility you can go and work, while you're studying. And I couldn't get a job like other kids could, but I got a construction yard job 2.5 hours away from Copenhagen, right? I took it because no one else was taking it, right? So remember, as a youngster, I was in the morning, I took a train and public transportation 2.5 hours out to be at the construction yard 8. And then after working until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 2.5 hours of transportation back every day for 6 months. No one was doing that. I did that. And I recall the Skanska, the guy, the department manager, he knew the department manager at that company that I was doing this work for. And they were out playing golf. And then they were actually fighting about getting me because they told me this story afterwards, because they said, if somebody is willing to travel 5 hours per day to work 8 hours, and they both wanted me. So I actually got a contract before I was finished with the university, 1 week, 2 weeks before I finalized the university. So I had already a job. Which was absolutely mind-blowing for me, right? And that did tremendous, quite a lot for my, building my ego. Okay, I am worthwhile something. And then I got the salary. And then during those the last years, I had also a girlfriend that I wanted to half Spanish, half Danish, and wanted to marry. My dad said, no way, you're not going to go and marry. You can do it as soon as you finish the university. So as soon as I finished the university, I got married, right? And that didn't last. It had lasted half a year. We were just youngsters. And that happened in 1999. Right? I'm mentioning that because that meant a lot for my career, exactly there. Because when I divorced first time, 1999, I had worked at that construction company for less than a year. So but I was continuing to go to another school to learn IT, right? So a joint venture started at that point between the 5 major construction companies, AMEC, Bovis Lendlease, Skanska, Hochtief, the German Hochtief company, to create a marketplace, online marketplace for construction. And back then, everybody thought, with e-commerce, we can make money. Everybody is going to earn a lot of money. And then Denmark was asked to deliver. I was working at Skanska, so they asked, do you have somebody that can join this joint venture? And if the department manager there, he said, well, we have one guy, young guy, that is both engineer and is reading to become get his bachelor in IT.
And this is before the .com bubble,
yeah. Exactly. It was just taking off. Yeah. And then he asked me, do you want to go to this venture? Yeah, why not? I just got divorced. I was, I'm on. So Boston, that was the first place. They were kind of trying to figure out what to do. I was the youngest guy, and everybody was C-levels and things like that. So I was just pretty much just taking notes, things like that, right? And then from Boston, we went to Frankfurt, where Hochtief and Skanska stuck together, while the other ones, they went away. And we were working from Frankfurt office for a while. And back then, e-commerce, which is absolutely nuts for the people listening, it was a telephone call you made to, it was a modem, 33,600, and we needed to call to the marketplace every time. So it was absolutely nuts to have a marketplace.
Data transmission was different.
Yeah. So that was what it was. And then after that, we were there half a year, went to Amsterdam. I was living there for nearly 4 years. EAC Global, that was the company, the venture call. And we delivered e-commerce services for Skanska and Hochtief, basically, e-sourcing, procure to pay, those type of stuff. And I got to learn a lot about SAP solutions. I learned a lot about process engineering. Yeah. And my career, that's what I learned during those years. That's the foundation of why I'm where I am today, I would say. My understanding, my learning just took off big time.
Wenn du Teil unserer unumkehrbaren Bewegung sein willst, tu mir einen Gefallen. Abonniere diesen Podcast. Und wenn du jemandem dabei helfen willst, Erfolg neu zu definieren und glücklicher zu sein, dann erzähle ihm von Besser werden.